Minor six chords, the musical equivalent of a quizzical facial expression. But what are they, how are they made, and how to use them? So let's start with an A minor six. Now you might think that this chord is constructed by using the A minor scale, but no, it is not. It is actually constructed using the major scale with one alteration. So real quick, the notes of A major. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and another A. Now, if we were to make an A major six, we would take the first, the third, the fifth, and the sixth. But we're thinking of this as an alteration of it, so we're flattening that third note. Therefore, that C sharp becomes a C. So it's an A, not a C sharp, a C. There's that flattened third. If you've ever heard of a chord spelling, this is what it's talking about. It's talking about taking the notes in the major scale and you're altering one. So the chord spelling of this would be a 1, a flat 3, a 5, and a 6. That's how you come to the formula of making a minor six chord. So it's a minor triad, triad being a 3-note chord, which a minor triad of A is A minor, and you just add the 6th note in the major scale. So let's look at a couple of voicings for these. First, let's take a regular A minor chord, and we need to add that F sharp, right? The easiest way to do that is take a regular A minor, and then the F sharp is gonna be the 2nd fret E, F sharp right here. So we're just gonna use your pinky. Okay, now this can be a movable shape as long as you don't get the A in there. So this is an A minor 6, A sharp minor 6, B minor 6, C. So as long as you think of your root note being where your ring finger is, you can always root it there. Now I like to root a lot of chords on the low E string. And this is probably the voicing that I usually use. So my middle finger's on the root, right? This is an A. Now my pointer finger is getting the 6 right there. So there's my 6, and the rest of it is right here. So I have 5 on the E string, 4 on the D string, 5 on the G string, and 5 on the B string. Now you can kind of think of this as 2 different voicings in one, because anything rooted on the low E string can also be rooted on the high E string. So right now I'm skipping the A. I can play it open in A, but if I want to make this a shape, I have to skip the A string. Now, if I want to swap this note for a higher note, I can do that right there, okay? So I'm switching this A for this A, and I'm doing the rest in the same thing, but I'm barring the bottom right there. Okay? So these are kind of, I guess these are 3 different voicings right here. And they're just movable shapes. Now, the most interesting thing about minor 6 chords to me is how you use them in context. If you look at which minor chords can be turned into minor 6s, is a little bit different than with like minor 7s. Like in any scale, like if you've looked at any of the past music theory videos, you'll know that, like let's take the C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. To make those minor triads, the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th notes become minor chords in a scale. So in the case of C, the key of C, D, E, and A become minor chords. Now, only one of these 3 minor triads can become a minor 6 while keeping in the scale that you're thinking of. So let's actually find out which one it is, right? Let's start with A. A minor is a really popular one, that's why we've been using it. Now, if we find out that A, we already know that there is a F sharp in it. Now, F sharp isn't in the key of C, so technically, you can't play an A minor 6 while staying completely in the key of C. So let's go to the 3 chord, an E, right? If we look at E, and we start, let's play the major scale from E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we know that this right here is a C sharp, also not in the key of C. So let's go to the D, right? D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th note in the key of D is a B. Now, a B is also in the key of C as the 7th note. Therefore, D can become a minor 6 chord in the key of C. Hopefully you understood that. But basically, you can think of the 2 chord, right? So in the key of C, it's a D. In the key of D, it would be an E. As long as you know what key you're in, you can take the 2nd note in that key and turn it into a minor 6 chord. So for example, let's do a replacement. Let's do something that has D minor in the key of C. So let's do a progression with like a C major to A minor to D minor and D minor again, all right? Now we can replace that D minor with that voicing that we just learned, a D minor 6. So C, to A minor, instead of C, A minor, D. And you can do a lot of cool things. Now, one thing that I like to do is kind of how we talked about. We have 3 different minor triads in the key. And in the key of C, we have a D minor, an E minor, and an A minor. One thing that you can do to increase your compositional chops is go outside of a key, right? So we already discussed about how an E minor chord and an A minor chord can't be in the key of C. But let's treat all the triads in the key of C, all the minor triads, as minor 6s and see how it sounds. So instead of playing like just triads, right? 3-note chords, A minor to E minor to D minor. Now, if we treated all of these as minor 6 chords, we're going outside of the key, and it can sound cool, it can sound whatever, depending on your preferences, but let's turn this A minor into an A minor 6. And let's turn that E minor, right? We have to find out where that E is rooted. We could go way down here to like the 12th fret, and then do the same thing with the D minor. So let's move down here. Same voicing. Right? So if we have a A minor 6, instead of A minor, E. And it kind of gives you like just a different flavor, I guess, if you want to see. So now that you know about minor 6 voicings, I'm sure that you'll incorporate them into your playing efficiently and tastefully. Or will you?